during the weekends?
Yeah, I rested. Uh, Good enough.
Good. It doesn't sound very good. Anyway, weren't did you go out with your family or
Yeah,
go any? Mm-mm,
I went to the zoo that
mm-mm,
I told you the last week,
mm-mm,
and yeah,
mm-mm,
we stayed there for 1 hour, and yeah, my
mm-mm,
kids fed um, animals such as
mm-mm.
rabbits or goats, donkeys, yeah.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
then yeah, we we will since we've visited there several times,
Mm-mm,
so my daughter was sick of
mm-mm,
feeding animals
mm-mm,
easily. So yeah,
mm-mm,
um, so we didn't stay there for a long
mm-mm,
time.
mm-mm.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, okay. Still, it was fun. At least you were able to go out with your kids. Mine was, um,
Mhm.
mine was okay.
Why?
I,
Why
I.
okay? Not good.
No, it was fine. It was fine. Yesterday morning, I went over to my friend's house because it was her boyfriend's birthday, and so we prepared some food
Mhm.
and some drinks. So
Mhm.
and then I went home. Okay, guess what time I went home?
Maybe since you are asking me, I think it's not that early time. Maybe around 10.
5:30 this morning.
Oh, really? So
Yes,
you didn't sleep at all?
I slept. I slept.
Ah.
At around 6 o'clock, I slept, and then I woke up at 11:30 today.
Mhm.
So it's okay. I feel good. It's
Why
strange.
why did you get back your home that late?
Because we were supposed to finish the party around um 12
Mhm.
p.m. 12 a.m. However, my friend didn't want me to go home because it was already too late, and
Mhm.
so they asked me to stay.
Mm.
And when I stayed, I got forced into drinking.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes, but not very much. It's just we shared stories of our childhood together. By
Mhm.
the way, they're from Papua New Guinea too,
Mhm.
and we were neighbors back then.
Mhm.
So we spent the whole night telling stories. That's all.
Yeah, it's a good.
Mm-mm. Okay, all right. Anyway, Elia. Oh,
Mm.
on Friday, I think we have a national holiday here in the Philippines,
Oh, okay.
but I don't think we're gonna be postponing the classes or
Mhm.
delaying them. Yes,
Mhm.
still be
So
here.
you are
Mm-mm.
working.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
As we always do.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Elia, shall
Uh-huh.
we go to our lesson
Okay,
now?
it's good.
Okay, just a moment.
And yeah, lesson, yeah, 8.
9.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry because the last session you asked me, we didn't cover the first question of lesson 8, but I
yes.
said we covered.
Yes.
Actually, we didn't. So yeah, let's talk about yeah this
Oh,
question first.
for a moment I thought I had amnesia, but I was right. Okay.
I'm
Okay
so
then.
sorry.
It's okay, Elia. It's
Okay.
okay. Okay,
So, what
start.
kind of restaurant is most popular in Korea? What are the reasons for this?
Mhm.
I think the most popular place of
Mm-mm.
restaurant would be
Mm-mm.
chicken place.
Mm-mm.
So many people order fried chickens.
Mm-mm.
So if yeah, around my apartment, I can see
Mm-mm.
4 or 5 chicken places.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
yeah, it is they are popular, and
Mm-mm.
also another popular restaurant would be 삼겹살 places. because many people um, many when people eat out,
Mm-mm.
especially I mean uh, people who are working, so
Mm-mm.
they go to the samgyeopsal place for
Mm-mm.
staff dinner meetings. So
Mm.
they drink, they eat uh,
Mm-mm.
samgyeopsal with
Mm-mm.
uh, alcohol, so they
Mm-mm.
enjoy their
Yeah.
time there. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, I think around my apartment there are not that many samgyeopsal places. But when I was working around my
Mm-mm.
company, I saw really many samgyeopsal places.
Mm-mm.
Hmm. That's all.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. I thought I only saw it in Korean movies. And
Hmm.
yes, because I see that some gipsal. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Okay.
One more time.
In most some you'll be my teacher for now. Some gipsal.
Yeah, it's good. Hmm.
Okay. I actually see a lot of movies, Korean movies,
Hmm.
where after work, okay, people go to some gipsal places to have dinner and drink soju or beer
Hmm.
with that.
Yeah,
I
right.
didn't know that it was really something that Koreans normally do.
Yeah, many
Okay.
people do that.
Mm-mm. Mm. Can I ask you something about
Hmm.
samgyeopsal? Is
Okay.
it only pork? Is it
Yeah,
only made of pork?
yeah, right.
Mm. Because
Hmm.
whenever I see them eating the lettuce and the vegetables and the meat, the way they eat it makes me so hungry.
Yeah,
It's like Koreans do really enjoy eating it.
yeah, right. So
I want
we
to.
usually eat vegetables. We usually
Mm-mm.
eat samgyeopsal with the vegetables,
Mm-mm.
like lettuce or
Mm-mm.
yeah, sesame leaves. So
Mm-mm.
we put. I especially like lettuce. I
Mm-mm.
no no sesame leaves. So I put
Mm-mm.
sesame leaf on my palm, and I put
Mm-mm.
two slice of
Mm-mm.
samgyeopsal, and then
Mm-mm.
there I also how can I say, I also use some I also eat sauce together,
Uh-huh.
so it can
Mhm.
be doenjang or
Yes.
other types of sauce.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also put a lot of vegetables instead of lettuce
Mm-mm.
or sesame leaves. Yeah, it
Mm-mm.
depends on the place,
Mm-mm.
what kind of vegetables they are served.
Yes.
Hmm.
Would chicken be okay to try, you know, chicken
Chicken.
be okay as an alternate or substitute for pork?
Yeah, but not fried chicken. So we
Mm.
have a lot of
Mm-mm.
dishes uh,
Mm-mm.
that we can make chicken, but
Mm-mm.
what's the name of? Anyway, there is a special name. Oh,
Mm-mm.
even it is in Korean, but I can't think of it right
Okay.
now. Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay, okay. But anyway, but mainly samgyeopsal is grilled pork. Is it
Yeah,
grilled?
yeah,
Yes.
right.
Okay, all right. Anyway, Elia, so we are on to lesson 9 now. Do
Mm-hmm.
you have questions about the first two pages?
Yeah, so cheat, is it commonly
Mm-mm.
used?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was fast. No, no, no. Okay,
No.
I think chit. More common. Okay, more commonly, what would you say instead of chit?
Yeah, check or bill.
Yes, check or bill. Chit is okay. Chit doesn't really strike me as a very common term used in restaurants, so you
Mm-hmm.
can use bill or check instead. Maybe this one was just put here for additional information,
Mm-hmm.
so you
So,
know an alternative.
what is this word used? Yeah, how can I
So,
say? In what situation
wh-
is
uh,
this word used commonly?
Okay, okay. Um, Actually, if you try to look for an official definition of cheat, it
Mm-hmm.
would simply be a recorded summary of all the bills to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wouldn't also recommend using it anywhere very much.
Anywhere?
Okay, yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I mean it's not very common. It's
Mm-hmm.
simply a recorded summary. Okay, but probably if you use it often, okay, it's correct. But if you use it, people would not be able to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
for example, you owe me no, you owe me some amount of money, okay, the
Mm-hmm.
money you've borrowed since last year,
Mm-hmm.
and here's the check, okay, here's the recorded summary,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, a list of debts that you have to
Mm-hmm.
pay.
Okay.
Yes, okay, but still in restaurants, I'd rather you use bill or check.
Okay. I see.
What else?
Yeah, no, I don't have any more questions. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Okay, okay. Next part.
I think you've already read the whole, um, this book, whole, how can I say? Uh,
Oh, Senior Orange.
yeah. No, you
No,
haven't.
yes, yes, I have. But that was probably earlier this year. That was a long
Uh-huh.
time ago. But I am trying to. I think when I have time, I will. And
Mm-hmm.
then if I see anything that needs clarification, I'd tell you too.
Yeah, so if I have any questions about
Mm-mm.
yeah, this content, I will
Mm-mm.
ask you. But if you have something, you found something is
Mm.
strange, then yeah, please let me know.
Okay, okay, sure. I think that's a good idea too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, surely I will. Maybe in our next class before it starts, I could take at least, let's say, 5 minutes to go over
Mm-hmm.
the lesson.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No worries. Okay. Letter F, lesson 9, number 1.
Mm. Do you own a credit card? Have you ever experienced having your credit card rejected
Mm-hmm.
any kind of establishment,
Mm-hmm.
restaurant, department store, etc.? So, what's the meaning of establishment in this sentence?
In any kind of establishment, in any kind of store,
Oh,
mostly.
so
Any
is
kind of store. Mm-mm.
establishment means store.
Oh no no no. Oh, not only store. Okay. It's okay. Generally, it would mean an organization of something. Okay, but in this context, it would mean a business. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
a business because you can actually you can also call a school an establishment, but more commonly, a school would be called an institution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but by definition, establishment is anything like an organization that operates on something. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, I think establishment would mean business operations.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have my own credit cards,
Mm-mm.
and have you ever experienced? No, I've never have this kind of experience.
Mm-mm.
Because, uh, yeah, my credit rating is not, it's okay, it's good.
Mm-mm.
So and I always pay, uh, okay, I always I always how can I say it? Mm, I didn't have any problem
Mm-mm.
paying my money to the
Mm-mm.
credit card company. So yeah, that's
Mm-mm.
why I don't have any this kind of experience. But
Mm-mm.
after I quit my previous job, I didn't
Mm-mm.
have any job. So
Mm-mm.
10 years ago, maybe when I was in university,
Mm-mm.
if I wanted to make a credit card, um,
Mm-mm.
they didn't check my job or my um, property. they just
Mm-mm.
made it on the spot, but
Mm-mm.
it caused a lot of problems. So yeah, it has been changing. So nowadays, it's impossible to make a credit card if I don't
Mm-mm.
have a job. So anyway,
Mm-mm.
I wanted to make a credit card, but since I don't have a job, so
Mm-mm.
and my apartment is
Mm-mm.
in the name of my husband under name
Mm-mm.
under is maybe yeah my husband owns this apartment.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, um, yeah. At that time, I was a little bit miserable because even if I have money and I have an ability to pay
Mm-mm.
for
Mm-mm.
yeah pay for how can I say pay for it, but yeah, I can
Mm-mm.
make my own credit card. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, I really missed my job. And
Mm-mm.
I a little bit
Oh.
regretted yeah that I quit my job because I felt like I was a person who
Mm-mm.
was in com how can I say competent.
Sorry, sorry. What was
Oh, okay.
that?
I feel like
Incompetent.
I was
Oh.
incompetent. Mm-hmm.
Yes, incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. It does feel like that somehow, I guess, when you don't work anymore. Okay. But
Mm.
isn't it possible that you could get one again? Probably under your husband's name. Is there a way?
Yeah, it was possible
Mm-mm.
before. So, my sister is working in in a bank. So, she has to make some several credit cards, new
Mm-mm.
credit cards because
Mm-mm.
she is in charge of making several a certain number of credit cards
Mm-mm.
every month. So anyway, that's
Mm-mm.
why she
Mm-mm.
made my credit card under my husband's name.
Mm-mm.
But she told me
Mm-mm.
would it will be changed. It will change yeah sometime soon because it
Mm-mm.
has also a problem, and
Mm-mm.
and uh, and I have a job, even though it is not full-time job.
Yes.
So then my sister told me it is possible for me to make a credit card
Mm-mm.
because if I prove that I get
Mm-mm.
a certain amount of money every month, so if
Mm-mm.
I send the credit card company the copy of my bank book.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. We actually recently in malls or in department stores here in the Philippines, I've also noticed a lot of people trying their best to promote credit cards or to have
Mm.
people make credit cards.
Hmm.
Yes, because I think in Korea it's very popular, but here in the Philippines it hasn't been that widely used by people. Just today,
Oh.
just nowadays. Mm-mm. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
scared. I'm scared to have one made because I might be in a lot of debt.
Oh,
Yes.
so you
Mm-mm.
don't have any credit cards?
None at all.
Wow.
Even majority, even uh, a
Oh.
particular majority of my workmates don't have one.
How about debit cards?
I do. I do.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, okay, earlier you mentioned that you don't really have problems paying your debts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go to the second question.
Mm-hmm. Is credit card debt a problem in Korea? Why do you say so? It was a really a it was a really problem in the past because
Mm-mm.
most all I mean not most all credit
Mm-mm.
card companies
Mm-mm.
uh, wanted to they try to uh, issue a credit card
Mm-mm.
without checking any
Mm-mm.
qualification.
Mm-mm.
So even though they were university students, they didn't
Mm-mm.
have any ability to pay their debt, but they
Mm-mm.
still could make a credit card. So there were a lot of people who couldn't pay for their debts. So yeah, it
Mm-mm.
was a problem.
Mm-mm.
But
Okay.
nowadays, it's really um, the how can I say, the condition is really complicated, and no, I mean
Mm-mm.
strict. The
Mm.
condition of making a new credit card, yeah, becomes strict. So
Mm-mm.
people can't make a credit card when they want. So I think
Mm-mm.
nowadays it would be okay. And they
Mm-mm.
also set the credit card company sets the
Mm-mm.
amount of money, I mean, how much they can borrow money from the
Mm-mm.
card, um, is
Mm.
depending on their salary or their property.
I
So,
see.
mhm, it's okay, I
Mm.
think now.
So it's very limited.
Yeah.
Very limited on how much. But I guess that's nice. I mean, that's better if it's limited. At least they're
Mm,
trying to depend it on how much salary you receive.
yeah.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, number 3.
What are advantages and disadvantages of owning owning a credit card? Give two of each. Um, Advantages. When it comes to advantages, uh, first of all, we can get a certain discount
Mm-mm.
using a credit card. So that's why I wanted to make a credit card. Uh, Actually, I don't want to. Um, I don't want to make any debt, so
Mm-mm.
it's enough to use a debit card instead of credit
Mm-mm.
cards. But
Mm-mm.
credit cards has more advantages when we use
Mm-mm.
it. So that's
Mm-mm.
so anyway, we can get a certain discount or some
Mm-mm.
advantages.
Mm-mm.
Mm, if we use the card,
Mm-mm.
and um, we don't need to carry cash. So
Mm-mm.
when we use the credit card, uh, we don't I don't need to have coins. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, coins
Mm.
are troublesome sometimes.
Yes.
Uh,
I feel you. I feel you. But I think in Korea, is there still a use for coins nowadays
yeah, sure. Hmm.
in department stores? Does it still offer that? I mean, do people still pay with coins or cash?
Yeah, many people
Oh.
use cash, and yeah,
Mhm.
if in a department store, actually
Mm-mm.
most items are really expensive, so
Mm-mm.
maybe they usually use a credit card or debit card,
Mm-mm.
and
Mm-mm.
they don't need to use coins because
Mm-mm.
yeah, they usually pay the bill, uh, but
Mm-mm.
anyway, we can use cash in the department
Mm-mm.
store in any places.
Any places, that's good.
Hmm.
That's good. Here in the Philippines, we can only use debit cards in malls, in
Oh,
department stores.
wow.
That's all. Most,
Uh,
yes.
but I mean, most stores prefer
Mm-mm.
getting cash because
Mm.
the government chase the can't chase of how much they sell their items or
Mm-mm.
yeah stuff. So they
Mm-mm.
can they they can, how can I say it, they can lie
Mm-mm.
or they can control the
Oh,
number of how much they sold their
yes.
items. That's why they
Mm-mm.
prefer cash to
Cash.
yeah a credit card.
I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Here in the Philippines, oh no, no, here in our town specifically, we do have some supermarkets that offer, no, that allow accept debit or credit cards, but those are the supermarkets inside the mall itself. So when you
Mm,
go out of that, you can't really find any establishments or hotels even that accept credit cards and debit cards. It's
mm-hmm,
only cash. Yes.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. All right. Elia, do you have anything else to ask or say about the questions here about lesson 9?
But I didn't tell you about disadvantages.
Oh, not sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
so what's
Mm-mm.
the disadvantages? Credit card. Yeah, so yeah,
Mm-mm.
we already know we can have debt if we
Mm-mm.
are not available to pay our money back to the credit
Mm-mm.
card company. And I don't like the system. I like the system of a debit card. Yeah, we can pay um, for the item if we
Mm-mm.
have enough money in the bank. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, the credit card actually, if we don't have money, but we can buy it, and then later we have to pay them back. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's really yeah not good. And
Yes.
another
Yes.
disadvantage is
Mm-mm.
so we can buy something, uh,
Mm-mm.
and that's the debt. And what else? Can if
Well,
can we have disadvantages of owning a credit card?
that's all the disadvantage I could think of, what you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a follow-up question for you,
Mm-hmm.
Elia. Um, how do you feel about borrowing money from people, about being in debt? Okay, earlier you did say you don't want to be in debt when it comes to credit cards and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you feel about borrowing money from other people, let's say friends or family?
If it is a small amount of money, then I can pay it back soon. It's
Mm-mm.
okay. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I don't hesitate to ask them to borrow some money. But if
Mm-mm.
it's a big amount of money and then I
Mm-mm.
don't have money, I don't have any
Mm-mm.
ability to pay it
Mm-mm.
back, then
Mm-mm.
yeah, I never ask them to borrow money. So
Mm-mm.
I had a really hard time in 2 years ago because
Mm-mm.
um, I the stock price
Mm-mm.
was against our expectation,
Mm-mm.
so we didn't have money, and
Mm-mm.
then I really wanted to ask my mom to borrow some
Mm-mm.
money, but I was afraid because even if I borrow some money from her, then
Mm-mm.
I can invest my money in the stock market
Mm.
well, then I can
Mm-mm.
lose to her money as well. So
Yes.
I believe I could do it well. I can make money, but yeah, who knows? Yeah, how
Mm.
can I do? And we can expect all the future and how the stock prices would go.
Yes.
So that's why yeah, I didn't ask my mom.
Oh, okay, okay. I feel the same way too. I don't, I just don't like being in any debt, when it
Mhm.
comes to money and people. Maybe a smaller amount if I'm very desperate, like I need money, that's the only time I'd borrow, but I'd make sure to pay it back. Okay. Elia, before we end,
Mhm.
there's just one sentence here I'd like to focus
Uh huh.
on before we go.
Uh huh.
Okay, this one.
Uh huh.
For example, you said, I didn't ask my mom to borrow some money. This is grammatically correct in a sense,
Uh
okay?
huh.
But sorry, I did not put correct on your feedback box.
Uh huh.
For example, with this one too, I don't hesitate to ask them to borrow some money.
Mhm.
Technically, this is grammatically correct, but
Mhm.
number one would mean that you don't ask your mom to borrow money from other people for
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
Okay? Or this one, you don't ask other people to borrow money to give to you.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay? Yes,
Mhm.
but don't worry, I wrote some suggestions already in the feedback.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you so much, Elia, and I'll see you with lesson 10 tomorrow. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
You
Okay.
too.